Don Julin here, and in this little video I'm going to show three major chord shapes, three string chords, so you're only going to be using 3 fingers, sometimes even 2 fingers, but these are 3 string closed movable chords, and we're just going to cover major chord shapes and then maybe some progressions at the end. So I'll start with this first shape. I use my index finger, ring finger, and pinky. So to make this chord, we'd be at the 2nd fret of the D string, 4th fret of the A string, 5th fret of the E string. Only strum those 3. Notice I can move it up and down. And it's a chord for each place. I can even move it over onto the heavier string, so I'm on strings 4, 3, and 2. There are 3 common ways that people use to name these chords. Classical folks would call it root position, first inversion, or second inversion for the 3 different shapes that I'm going to show you. Tenor banjo players or people that may have studied with Jethro Burns might call them root on top, 3rd on top, or 5th on top. And then the 3rd way, I think, would be to just locate the root in the chord. So the root note is either on top, on bottom, or in the middle. For this video, let's just use that. I think that's the easiest way to grab this at first. So this first chord, 2nd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret. The highest note is A. That note is under my pinky. And whichever, as I hold my hand in this shape, whatever pinky note I play will designate the name of the chord. B, I'm at the 7th fret. That's a B note. B flat chord. If I move it over onto the thicker strings, there's an E, there's a D, there's an E flat, F, there's a G up here, C, and that is the root note on top. Go 2nd fret, and then with the ring finger play the 4th fret. Notice this one is also movable. Or so this shape, the root note is on the bottom. It's the lowest note. So this note being A would make these 3 notes, 2nd fret, 4th fret, be an A chord. So if I, and the index finger is playing the lowest note. So if I put my index finger on C at the 5th fret, I have a C chord. If I put my index finger on G at the 5th fret by moving over to the more treble strings, I've got a G chord. A, G, F, E. This shape could be called either the 3rd on top, but in this, for the sake of simplicity, let's call this root on bottom. So we've got, from the previous exercise, we've got root on top. Now we have root on bottom. The 3rd shape I'd like to show you is also a little bar, and it can be played 2 different ways. Let's start here at the 4th fret. So it's 4, 5, 5. That would be the fret assignment. And you can play this with the index and the 2nd finger, or in some cases it makes more sense to play this 2nd finger and ring finger. The name of this chord comes from the note in the middle. So the middle note of this, 4, 5, 5, that 5th fret of the D string is a G note. Therefore, that's a G chord. F chord, A chord. If I moved it over, E, F, D, C. So this one, the root note is the middle note. Low note, high note, middle note. So, 3 different shapes. Let's look at 3 different C chords. You have that one. Root on top. 8th fret of the E string is a C note. Let's look at this one. 5, 5, 7. Bottom note is a C, and that's the shape with the root on bottom. And then let's find a C with the root in the middle. 2, 3, 3. If we had some common chord progressions, let's say we're in the key of C, and we're going to need the chords C, F, and G. Let's look at a couple different places that we could possibly do that. So let's start here with C, with the root on top, moving to this F, 7, 8, 8, with the root in the middle, back to C, root on top, and then maybe to this G, 5, 5, 7, and this one's the root on bottom, so here's our G note. So our first chord is here, our root is here, C, next is there, our root is here, F, C, and here's a G. Let's take the same progression down lower. So let's start here at C, root on the bottom, F, 5, 7, 8, with root on top, back to C, root on the bottom, to the G, 4, 5, 5, with root in the middle. Some people combine this C with this C to make a full bar chord, which is also movable. That's okay. This video is primarily designed to show you the value of these 3-note ones and how useful they are. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.